What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Coach Joe here with Heartletics.com. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about why you should be in love, madly in love, honestly, with falling in love with the process. Think about it. The New Year's are coming up here. It's already December 1st. 2023 is going to be here in a few short weeks. And I don't want you to be that guy, right? That is the shiny object, like, oh man, I haven't worked out in months. I'm going to be that guy that's going to sign up for a gym membership, work out, 6 days a week, and eat nothing but chicken breast and broccoli, cut out all your carbohydrates, chug a whole bunch of water, intermittent fasting, do a whole bunch of cardio, like maybe 2 a days. Because here's the reality. You probably realistically have already done that at some point, and that has failed you. Also, realistically, is like at the end of the day, think about it like this too. Most guys fail at reaching their health and fitness goals simply because they don't have that mindset. They don't. They care way too much about the goals. And I used to be like this also, honestly. I kid you not. Everybody cares so much about the goals, they don't understand what are they actually doing to achieve those goals, if it's actually sustainable or not. Because I'll put it to you like this. Nobody, right, is able to achieve their goals, right? And then like, oh, sweet, I lost 50 pounds. I got off my blood pressure meds. I have so much more energy. Okay, cool. Now that I got my goals of losing 50 pounds, I'm going to go back to eating carbs. I'm going to go back to being not active. Like, reality is, if that's you and you think that way, you're just going to regain the weight right back. And that's honestly why, most people fail at reaching their health and fitness goals, is because, once again, they don't have the proper mindset. And all I'm trying to do on this podcast is to help you guys with having a different mindset. And so I want you to fall in love with the process, not the goal. And I want you to really, really boil down to think about it like this. What have you ever had to do in your life that required you to become disciplined? That's it. Like, what kind of discipline did you have? For me, I remember literally the first time ever playing basketball. I was not good at it all, but I liked the sport so much. I like watching Michael Jordan. I like watching Vince Carter. My favorite, actually, basketball player growing up was Allen Iverson. I love the guy, right? Amazing dribble, like his handles, everything like that. And so I fell in love with the sport. But here's the thing, like, I was not good at it all when I first got started playing in basketball. And so I remember showing up to practice. I remember playing some games. I kid you not, like, I just was not good at it when I first got started. And my father, he saw how determined I was to, I just would always dribble around a basketball around the house, and he got sick of that. So he's like, oh man, Joe, just go outside, right? Dribble outside. So I'd be dribbling around the basketball outside, and I remember like doing like different things, like passing the ball. We have a brick house, right? So I pass the ball against the brick house right on the side, and like my dad would come outside, start yelling at me, like, dude, stop doing that. And I remember I would be like practicing like I'm shooting a basketball, hitting the top of the whatever on the side of the house. And he'd be like, all right, enough's enough. So he bought me a basketball hoop, okay? And he attached it to the garage that we had. And I kid you not, I was out there religiously, day and night, just playing basketball. We had some friends down the street, constantly playing with them. And I fell in love with it. But like, it wasn't the fact that I fell in love with, oh, I'm finally getting good and finally like making some baskets or anything like that. It was the realization at an early age. And honestly, if you ever played sports, or you ever got stuck, like maybe you're playing a video game and you got stuck at a certain level, and you just kept on going and going and going, and eventually, you're able to beat the boss and proceed to that next level. Think about it in terms of that. So with me with basketball, it was one of these things where at an early age, I think it was, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old, something like that. It was, hey, as long as I was out here continuing to try and play, and I literally love my imagination still to this day. But I remember, like, honestly, outside playing basketball until when the sun would go down, I pretended like I was Allen Iverson. Like, that's how vivid my imagination was. I would see Allen Iverson do these crossovers and all these different moves, and how he would, shoot a basket. And I remember, like, me being outside at such an early age, still just trying to mimic his moves and pretending that people would be defending me and guarding me. And it's just me out there by myself, you know? But here's the thing, the more and more I practiced, the better I got. And I fell in love with that work ethic, that realization to me at an early age that, hey, I might not be good right when I first got started, but as long as I continue to practice, I would eventually get good and good and good and so forth to where, man, I could play in some basketball games with my friends and actually hold my own, hit some shots, win some games. I then progressed to obviously, playing in like middle school and high school and whatnot and just having fun with it because I practice. That's it. Practice. And it all boils down to being disciplined. And so the problem is, literally, is that New Year's is going to be here before you guys know it. Honestly, 2023 is going to be here, and you guys are going to go from sitting on the couch to playing in the NBA. Well, here's the thing: you've never practiced shooting the ball. You never practice dribbling. You never practice passing to your teammates, setting picks, any routes, anything like that. And so what's going to happen is February and March is going to come, and you're going to get so discouraged, and you're just going to go back to your old ways. Once again, I don't want that to happen to you, and it doesn't have to be that way. This is why I'm giving you guys this analogy. All the podcasts that I do, it's just getting you guys to think differently. And so, hey, when it comes to me playing basketball at an early age, remember, discipline. I wasn't good in the beginning, but I had to stick with it. And think about it. Having that discipline at an early age, that bled off into work ethic to where, hey, started working out, right, later on in high school. I fell in love with the process of seeing my body change to where now I'm in my 30s, and I'm not trying to brag or boast or put my ego on a pedestal here, but literally around wintertime and the holidays, I stay around 10 to 12% body fat all year round. Summertime, typically when I have like photo shoots or different marketing events with Heartletics, I cut down to 8 to 10% body fat. And that's healthy for me. Like, I don't like going below 10 or 8% body fat because it's miserable. So the guys out there that comment on my Facebook ad that says, "Oh, I'm at 3% body fat. Why would I need to, sign up for Heartletics and download your free fat loss guide?" The reality is you're not 3% body fat, right? Your body literally needs fat in it to survive and function, right? It needs fat around the organs, everything like that. And so I find it funny when guys try to think they know it all when they actually don't. But nonetheless, I stick what's comfortable for me, but I'm not focused on the goal, right? Like let's say I'm trying to cut for a photo shoot, right? And I want to look a certain way, be, 8% body fat by any means. I'm not focused on that 8% body fat. You know what I'm focused on is what am I doing each and every day to get one step closer to becoming that 8% body fat? It's the same thing with my business. I want to change the world. I want Heartletics to blow up. We just hired a new coach, Coach Brett. Shout out to you, brother. He's going to be our new mindset coach. And I'm freaking on fire because, oh man, that's all I got to say. Like, I cannot wait for this guy to get started and what he's going to be doing with changing Heartletics and helping out the guys with the mindset because Brett had such a huge mindset shift inside of our coaching program. It's just going to help out so many of the new members, so many of all the members, honestly. And it's just continue to grow and grow and grow. And so I'm selfish, right? I want Heartletics to take over, to change the world, to make it a better place. I want to help out millions of men become leaders, to create better habits for their friends, their family members, most importantly, their kids, and to learn how to put a end to obesity and being overweight and high body fat because it's not hard at all, guys. It's just you got to think a little bit differently. And that's why, once again, I'm making this podcast episode to get you thinking differently. But play it back, right? 8% body fat. Let's say that's the goal. I want to get to that way and look that way. Well, here's the reality, okay? I'm not focused on the 8% body fat by any means. I'm focused on what do I need to do each and every day. That's it. Each and every day to get me to that goal. And it means that, hey, maybe on this day, I'm 1% better. And the next day, I'm 1% better. And on this day, I'm 1% better. So much so that guess what? It's so easy, and most importantly, it's sustainable. By the time I get to 8% body fat, I'm not looking back and say, oh man, I had to do X, Y, and Z to get here. It's like, no, like I had to do the easiest things done. It just took a long time, and that's fair. That's fine. I do it in a way because it's sustainable. I want to eat donuts and still get to 8% body fat. I want to eat pasta and still get to 8% body fat. And most of the time, right? Why do guys fail? Why does most, literally, 87% of the people fail at reaching their New Year's resolution? They go from the couch to playing in the NBA. They're focused on the goal. Oh man, I'm in the finals right here. I haven't worked out in months. I haven't done anything. So what do? They go to Google. They go to YouTube, right? Free information. They're like, all right, this guy's saying cut out carbs. This guy's saying intermittent fasting. This guy's saying do cardio and HIIT training. This guy's saying go to the gym 6 days a week and do a push pull routine, right? It's like, okay, so here goes this individual sitting on the couch, hasn't worked out in months. He gets all this, information, aka overanalysis paralysis, so much information, and then they go ahead and apply all of it to where the beginning of the new year, they start off so high on this New Year's high. Oh man, 2023, I'm gonna make a change, right? Cut out all my carbs, all this cardio, 2-a-days, right? Religiously working out nonstop, thinking just grind, 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 grind. Yeah, they grind themselves into failure. And then what happens is that typically by February or March, they can't do it anymore. It's not sustainable. And what happens is they go back to their old ways and they make up these excuses as to why they can't be successful. Oh, it's genetics. Oh, I've tried everything under the sun. Oh, it just didn't work out for me. I'm big boned. Whatever excuse it is that their bad wolf and their ego is going to feed them for that day, that's what they say. And you're listening to this right now and you're probably like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. And realistically, you probably tried that too, right? Eating nothing but chicken breast and broccoli, thinking that that's going to last you a lifetime. Like, no. The reason why people have so much success at Heartletics is because we change somebody's mindset. We teach them all the tools to burn body fat, but we do it in a way where, guess what? It's sustainable for their lifestyle, where they're learning how to train properly, not just for their body type and goals, but their schedule. They're learning how to eat properly, not just to burn body fat and have more energy and increase their testosterone levels, but no, they're doing it in a way where it's actually the foods that they want to eat. And it's also the same foods that they're eating with their family, with their kids, to where they're not that individual that's eating completely different from everybody else, because that's not sustainable either, right? So, I mean, this is why people like Nakoma, who's a truck driver, literally lost 50 pounds of fat in 12 weeks eating fast food, drinking alcohol. How does that happen? Why? Discipline and habits. And so what you need to do is fall in love with the process, not the goal. James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits. I love that book because it's all about goal setting. But once you have that goal, you need to just put it off to the side. That's why we always tell everybody, like, don't sign up for Heartletics if you're looking to lose weight, because we want you to be that confident that it's going to happen regardless. But we just want you joining Heartletics because you want a different mindset. You want the wolf pack. You want that community group. You want coaches that's going to hold you accountable. You want people in your corner that's going to support you and care for you on this journey. Those are the only people that we want signing up for Heartletics, because losing weight, it's the inevitable. It's super easy. Why? We focus on the habits, just like James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits. When you focus on a goal and you put it up on a pedestal, you're going to try to do everything you can to cut corners and cheat your way to achieve that goal. And let's say you achieve that goal. But if you're cutting out your carbs, you're doing, all this cardio and HIIT training, intermittent fasting, all these different workouts, 2-a-days, whatever the case may be, just to achieve your goals, realistically, how long can you sustain that? And that's why most people fail at reaching their goals, is because they're doing what is not sustainable for them, not sustainable for their lifestyle, and it's not going to work out in the long run, right? So with me playing basketball at an early age, I had that imagination like, oh man, like let's go, like I'm Allen Iverson, right, and just shooting. But here's the thing, I'm out there playing, I'm out there practicing, right, and I'm having fun doing it, right? It's not like I'm like dreading my life trying to learn how to dribble a ball and learn how to shoot like Allen Iverson and learn how to play basketball. I'm having fun. I fell in love with that. And, this work ethic, a discipline at an early age playing basketball carried me on to where I am today in my 30s, which once again, I stayed between 8% body fat, right, in the summer, all the way up to 12% body fat in the winter, because I like to eat my food, right? I ignore my pecan pie, right? For Thanksgiving, Italian cookies, like I'm Italian, come on, let's go, right? So I stay within that wiggle room because it's sustainable for me and I like it. And like that's the reality and the mindset shift that you all need to have is you need to fall in love with the process, not the goals. Most people, they try to fall in love with the goals. They cut out their corners, right? They make all these shortcuts, cut out carbs, intermittent fasting. So once again, by February, right, or March, they go back to their old ways. Because remember, what do I say time and time again? I probably sound like a broken record here. Anybody can do anything when life is easy. But it's when life throws you the curveballs, and that's the inevitable. Because anytime you're progressing to become a better version of yourself, life's gonna test you. And so that is typically when most guys they swing right for that curveball and they strike out. But now here's the thing: is that they strike out, but they don't go back to practice the next day because there's no coaches, there's no teammates saying like, "Hey Johnny, it's okay. You had a bad day, but show back up the next day, get right back on track, start tracking, hit your protein, hit your steps, hit your workouts. Let's get to it, man. Like, don't let the group down." And it's having those people in your corner that's what's going to make you successful at the end of the day. So, I'm going to give you guys cheat codes right here as we wrap up things on today's podcast. The New Year's are going to come up here, right? In literally a few short weeks, 2023 is going to be here. Have a reality check with yourself. I talk about a few podcast episodes ago, really this mindset worksheet, having a why and having a 2.0 version of yourself. And this worksheet helps out so many people having a different mindset. Once again, like shoot me over a message, contact me. I can send you over this document completely free and just like literally print it out, fill it out, put it somewhere as that daily reminder. Because some days, hey, when I was dribbling the basketball, and practicing, some days, hey, it was dark outside, but I was still shooting. Some days it started to rain a little bit. I'm still out there shooting basketball, playing, right, practicing. Some days I didn't feel good at all, but hey, I'm still out there like doing what I can. Maybe I'm watching like YouTube videos of Allen Iverson because I was falling in love with the process, the journey, not the goal itself, but just how can I improve my craft and get better and better to where once again here I am today. I'm that guy that's eating out, right? I'm that guy that's having donuts. In fact, tomorrow's podcast, we're going to have a donut competition, right? A donut eating competition with coaches, the clients. Like, it's going to be so much fun. Why? Just to prove a point to all you guys out there that at the end of the day, you got to fall in love with the process, not the goal. Because when you fall in love with the goal and you put it up on a pedestal, you're going to become obsessed with it. And that means the minute you have a cheat meal or the minute you miss a workout or the minute you get sick and you decide you just want to have some Panera bread because it makes you feel better and you're like, "Oh man, I'm way under on my, protein, way over on my calories for the day." You having that goal, right, that's on a pedestal, it's just going to discourage you because the minute you take a step back, you're going to feel like you're so much farther away from the goal. Hence why we only focus on habits at Heartletics. Because, hey, every dog has its day. I got plenty of them as a coach. So if I, get sick or get injured and miss a workout and, overeat on my calories and miss my protein goal, hey, that's one bad day. I'll take one bad day and then have 6 good days right afterwards. I'll take that any day of the week, honestly. Because at the end of the day, it's sustainable. And that's the underlining factor on how you can have success in 2023. We talk about it all the time. There's 365 days in a year, right? If you count like, random cheat days, holidays, birthdays, celebrations, whatever, let's just round up and say 65 of those days are just, hey, you didn't feel like showing up today. You didn't feel like feeding the good wolf, and that's completely fine. But if you're able to feed the good wolf the 300 other days, that's a very successful year for you. And that's the mindset that we teach and we coach all our clients to have. And that's the same mindset that you should have because that's going to be successful for you. That's going to help you. And most importantly, you're going to start to see those changes honestly a lot faster because instead of you focusing at the end of the day, this huge goal that you want to try to strive and achieve, you're focusing on day by day, the habits because you're in alignment and it's sustainable and it's easy. And most importantly, you're falling in love with the process. So guys, understand this. Wherever you're trying to get to in terms of your goals, right? Any kind of goals, there's always going to be some adversity. I always say it like this, especially in business, right? New levels, there's also going to be new devils. Playing a video game, right? Level 1 boss is probably going to be a lot easier to beat than, let's say, level 20 boss, right? It's one of those things where you just learn how to adapt. But the best way to win the game of life, in business, in your health and fitness goals, in video games, in learning a sport like basketball, show up each and every day. Don't give up. Don't throw in the white towel. That's what literally everybody does. And I don't want you to be that way. Why? Because I want to just use my voice here on this podcast to just give you some inspiration, to give you some hope. Whether you're in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, shoot, maybe even in your 80s, I don't care. Keep on going. Fall in love with the process day in and day out. That's it. Just start doing the right things that's in alignment. You're going to create better consistency habits for yourself, better discipline, which is the number one most literally, discipline is the best personal development trait that you can work on and focus. That's all I focus on is how to become more disciplined. And it's all about saying I'm going to do something. Once again, like this podcast, sometimes I don't feel like it. Sometimes I lose my voice. Sometimes I'm sick. But regardless, I made a promise to myself when I turned 30, from 30 all the way up to 31, no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm going to come on here Monday through Friday, record a podcast episode for you guys, provide some kind of value, some kind of content to inspire you and help you guys have success. Why? Because successful people do what they have to do whether they feel like it or not. And that's what I truly want you to understand. And if you just have that mindset shift, I promise you, you're going to have so much success in life in anything that you want. So guys, I really hope that you guys got some value from today's podcast episode. If you did, do me a huge solid favor. Go share this with a friend, a family member. Maybe share it on your Facebook, or hey, share this on your Instagram stories, and make sure to tag me. That way I can make sure to reshare it as well. And as always, this has been Coach Joe with the Heartletics podcast. I'll talk to you guys next time. Make sure you guys definitely tune in tomorrow. I would say make sure if you're listening to this on either Spotify or iTunes, tune into tomorrow on the YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in Heartletics. Hey, while you're there, give me some, some thumbs up on some of the videos, right? Give me some likes, subscribe, turn on the little bell notification if you haven't already, because tomorrow we're going to have our donut eating competition. And I can't wait for that because I'm a donut connoisseur. And I think you guys are going to find so much value in tomorrow's episode. It's really going to give you some reassurance that, hey, maybe to have success at this, maybe you just need some proper coaches and some proper teammates that's going to help you along this journey of you becoming the best version of yourself. As always, guys, talk to you next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.